A very good morning to all of you and welcome back to English class. So let's begin the new lesson from Snapshot, lesson number 3, Ranga's Marriage, which is written by Masti Venkatesha Iyengar. If you talk about the author, as I said, name of this author, Masti Venkatesha Iyengar. He was born in 1891 Hosahalli and died on 6th June 1986 Bangalore. He did his education in University of Madras, and he got awards, Gyanpith Award. The title Ranga's Marriage seems more out of place than Ranganatha Vivaha or Ranganatha Vijaya, but it is very appropriate as it about Ranga's marriage. A simple young boy from Hosahalli village. Hosahalli is yet another unfamiliar name as the English writer do not know of the existence of such a place and hence do not mention it. Most people are like sheep who follow others blindly. Hence, when neither the English writer nor the geographical referred to it, the cartographer did not put it on the map. However, the narrator feels Hosahalli is an important place in Mysore state, the southern part of India. So, this is the story revolves around Ranga, the accountant's son who got the opportunity to go out of the village to study. The narrator takes you through a journey where he changes Ranga's perceptions about marriage and how he staged their union with the help of Shastri and what role English has played in their village. The entire story involves funny instances and references for the narrator has made sure for your mind stays occupied with the story. So I'll read out each paragraph and I'll explain you the lesson. So let's go through the lesson. Here it goes. Ranga, the accountant's son, is one of the rare breed among the village folk who has been to the city to pursue his studies. When he returns to his village from the city of Bangalore, the crowds mill around his house to see whether he has changed or not. His ideas about marriage are now quite different, or are they? So children, rare breed means a person or thing with characteristics that are uncommon among their kind, or we can say a rarity, unusual. Rare breed means a person or thing with characteristics that are uncommon among their kind and a rarity. So this lesson revolves Ranga, the village accountant's son, who had just come back from Bangalore. At the news of his arrival, the villagers gather at his home to analyze if he had changed or not, and what is perception about marriage. Everyone was so excited because during those days not everyone used to get chance to go to cities for studying. So we start the first paragraph of this lesson. When you see this title, Some of you may ask, Ranga's marriage? Why not Ranganatha Vivaha or Ranganatha Vijaya? Well, yes, I know I could have used some other mouth-filling one like Jagannatha Vijay or Girija Kalyana. But then, this is not about Jagannatha victory or Girija wedding. It's about our own Ranga's marriage and has no fancy title. Osahali is our village. You must have heard of it. No? What a pity. But it is not your fault. There is no mention of it in any geography book. Those sahibs in England putting in English probably do not know that such a place exists and so make no mention of it. Our own people too forget about it. You know how it is. They are like a flock of sheep. One sheep walks into a pit, the rest blindly follow it. When both the sahibs in England and our own geographers have not referred to it, you cannot expect the poor cartographer to remember to put it on the map. Can you? And so there is not even the shadow of our village on any map. So here in this paragraph you will find Vivaha means what? Marriage. Vijaya means victory. Girija means female here. Kalyana means beautiful, lovely, auspicious in Sanskrit. Sahib means a polite title for or form of address for a man. Like a flock of sheep, a group of people behaving in the same way or following what others are doing. Cartographer. Here referred here, cartographer means a person who draws or produces maps. Cartographer means a person who draws or produces maps. Here you can see the map over here. Here I repeat the words here. Vivaha means marriage. Vijaya means victory. Girija, female here. Kalyana means beautiful, lovely, auspicious in Sanskrit. Sahib means a polite title or form of address for a man. Like a flock of sheep, a group of people behaving in the same way or following what others are doing. Cartographer, a person who draws or produces map. So in this paragraph, the lesson begins with the narrator expects the readers to be questioning that simplicity of the title, Ranga's marriage. As you know, the title of this lesson is what? Ranga's marriage. Here the narrator expects the readers to be questioning the simplicity of the title Ranga's marriage. He feels readers might be thinking of fancier titles like Ranganatha Vivaha or Ranganatha Vijaya or Girija Kalyana. He clarifies that although he had options of keeping such elaborate names, the reason why he chose the basic and casual one is because the story is about our Ranga, as in someone who is very close and very dear to him. They live in a village called Hosahali in Mysore. Not many people knew of it, and the narrator does not blame them because there is no trace of it in geography books. Even the Englishmen have no idea about the place, but they are also not to blame because our citizens too are completely ignorant about his village. He refers to the people as sheep who blindly follow each other and do not use their logic or brain to justify events. Invent things. At last, he feels the cartographer means what? One who, as I said, what is a cartographer means a person who draws or produces maps. So he refers to the people as sheep who blindly follow each other and do not use their logic or brain to justify or invent things. At last he feels cartographer is also not to be held responsible. As a result, there is no trace of their village on the map. Now we are moving to the next paragraph. Sorry, I started somewhere and then went off in another direction. If the state of Mysore is to be Bharatvarsha, what the sweet Karigadubu is to festive meal, then Hosahali is to Mysore state, what the filling is to Karigadabu. What I have said is absolutely true. Believe me, I will not object to your questioning it, but I will stick to my opinion. I am not the only one who speaks glowing of Hosahali. We have a doctor in our place. His name is Gunda Bhatta. He agrees with me. He has been to quite a few places. No, not England. If anyone asks him whether he has been there, he says no. Anaya, I have felt that to you running around like a flea-pestered dog is not for me. I have seen few places in my time, though as a matter of fact, he has seen many. Here some words are used in this paragraph. Bharatvarsh means what? India. Bharatvarsh means what? India. Karigadabu means what? A South Indian fried sweet filled with coconut and sugar. Okay, a South Indian fried sweet filled with coconut and sugar. So sweet dish, and its name is what? Karigadabu. Anaya means what in Kannada? A respectable term for an elder. Pestered dog means a pestered dog does not stick to one place but keeps roaming everywhere. Flea pestered means being infested by fleas and ticks which can cause uncontrollable itching in animals. Okay, this is what flea pestered dog means. A flea pestered dog does not stick to one place, but it keeps on roaming everywhere. Flea pestered means being infested by fleas and ticks which can cause uncontrollable itching in animals. The narrator feels here in this paragraph, it says that the narrator feels apologetic for getting carried away and deviating from the topic. He then throws light upon the significance of the village Hosahali. He says it is just as important as Mysore is to India. Karigadabu is to a festive meal and filling to Karigadabu. Thus, he cannot highlight its importance anymore. Not only him, but the doctor named Gunda Bhatta feels the same. The doctor has been to many places except England, but he still loves Hosahali. However, an outsider might contest this, but the narrator claims to stick to his opinion of the place. So this was told in the second paragraph of the lesson. Now let's move to the third paragraph. We have some mango trees in our village. Come, visit us and I will give you a raw mango from one of them. Do not eat it. Take just a bite. The soreness is sure to go straight to your Brahmandra. I once took one such fruit home and a chutney was made out of it. All of us ate it. The cough we suffered from after that. It was when I went for the cough medicine that doctor told me about the special quality of the fruit. Brahmandra in Kannada, the soft part in child's head where skull bones joined later. Here, used as an idiomatic expression to convey the extreme potency of soreness. In Sanskrit, Brahmandra means the whole of Brahman. It is the dwelling house of human soul. So children, in this paragraph it says that then he tells the readers, narrator tells the readers about the special mango trees in the village whose mangoes are famous for their special quality. He once took the fruit at home to make chutney, and everyone suffered from a bad cough after eating it. It was only when he went to see the doctor that he told him about the quality of mangoes of Hosahali. The narrator asks the readers to take a bite and assures that the soreness of the mango will be felt by them till the top of their head, where Brahmandra is located. I repeat, in this paragraph, the narrator says that he tells the readers about their special mango tree in the village, whose mangoes are very famous for their special quality. He once took the fruit at home and to make chutney, and everyone suffered from a bad cough after eating it. It was only when he went to see the doctor and that he told him about the quality of mangoes of Hosahali. Narrator asks the readers to take a bite and assures that the soreness of the mango will be felt by them till the top of their head, where Brahmandra is located. So next we will go through moving to the next paragraph. Just as the mango is special, so is everything else around our village. We have a creeper growing in the ever so fine water of the village pond. Its flowers are a feast to behold. Get 2 leaves from the creeper when you go to the pond for your bath, and you will not have to worry about not having leaves on which to serve the afternoon meal. You will say, I am grumbling. It is always like that when the subject of our village comes up. But enough. If any of you would like to visit us, drop me a line. I will let you know where Hosahali is and what things are like here. The best way of getting to know a place is to visit it. Don't you agree? So, behold means here, see or observe someone or something especially of remarkable or impressive nature. Behold means see or observe someone or something especially of remarkable or impressive nature. Rumbling, the word which is given in this paragraph, means of writing of speech, lengthy and confused things or the matters. Okay, rumbling means what? Of writing of or speech lengthy and confused. Here the narrator says not only the mangoes, everything in around this village is remarkable. The creeper growing in the pond and its flowers are so special, one can even serve an afternoon meal on its leaves. you need is to grab 2 leaves when you are on your way to the pond to bathe. After speaking highly of his village, the narrator says, if anyone wishes to see for himself or herself, one must contact him. He will help them to reach there, and also he feels that there is no better way to know a place than to visit it. I repeat the paragraph. In this paragraph, the narrator says, not only the mangoes, everything in and around this village is remarkable. The creeper growing in the pond and its flowers are also special. One can even serve an afternoon meal on its leaves. All you need to do is to grab 2 leaves when you are on the way to the pond to bathe. The narrator says, if anyone wishes to see for himself, herself, one must contact him, and he will help them to reach there. Also, he feels that there is no better way to know a place than to visit it. Now moving to the next paragraph. What I am going to tell you is something that happened 10 years ago. We didn't not have many people who knew English then. Our village accountant was the first one who had enough courage to send his son to Bangalore to study. It is different now. There are many who know English. During the days, you come across them on every street talking in English. Those days we didn't speak in English, nor did we bring in English words while talking in Kannada. What has happened is disgraceful, believe me. The other day I was in Ramarao's house when they bought a bundle of firewood. Ramarao's son came out to pay for it. He asked the woman, how much should I give you? 4 pies, she said. The boy told her he didn't have any change and asked to come the next morning. The poor woman did not understand the English word change and went away muttering to herself. I too did not know. Later I went to Ranga's house and asked him. I understood what it meant. So what happened? Here the story begins. So the narrator then brings about the comparison as to how things were different 10 years ago when not many people knew or spoke English. Neither did people send their children to big cities like Bangalore to learn, to study. Back then, only the village accountant had the courage to send his son to Bangalore. According to the author, those times were simpler. He justifies his claim by telling an incident where he was at Ramarao's house and they had just bought a bundle of firewood from an old lady. Rama told her to come next morning as he didn't have any change at that moment. Poor lady did not know what change meant, and she went away whispering to herself. Neither did the narrator know its meaning. It was only when he went to Ranga's house that he told him. Okay, now here the story begins. Now we will move to the next paragraph. This priceless commodity, the English language, was not so widespread in our village a decade ago. That was why Ranga's homecoming was a great event. People rushed to his doorstep announcing, The accountant's son has come. The boy who had gone to Bangalore for his studies is here. It seems, and come, Ranga is here. Let's go and have a look. So, however, what happened 10 years ago, people, English was not commonly spoken in this village. When the villagers came to know that Ranga, the accountant's son, was coming home from Bangalore, everyone got excited and rushed to his home to have a glance at him. So let's go through the next few lines. So yeah, attracted by the crowd, I too went and stood in the courtyard and asked, why you have all these people come? There is no performing monkey here. A boy, a fellow without any brain said loud enough for anyone to hear. What are you doing here then? Youngster, immature and without any manners, thinking that all these things were now of the past, I kept quiet. So here, what happened when he saw that this crowd was gathered around his place? So he, fascinated by all the crowd, the narrator too. He went there and asked people as to why they were gathered, because he could not see anything entertaining happening there like a monkey performing. A boy without brains shouted loud enough for everyone to hear and in a rude way. Narrator called him immature. So the next line, next paragraph. Seeing so many people there, Ranga came out with a smile on his face. Had we all gone inside, the place would have turned into what people call the black hole of Calcutta. Thank God it didn't. Everyone was surprised to see that Ranga was the same as he had been 6 months ago. When he had first left our village, an old lady who was near him ran her hand over his chest, looked into his eyes and said, Ginevra is still there. He hasn't lost his caste. He went away soon after that. Ranga laughed. Janavara in Kannada means the sacred thread worn by Brahmins. So in this in this paragraph it explains that all the people were waiting outside Ranga's house because the place would look like black hole of Calcutta if they all went inside. By saying this, the narrator means that there were so many people that the house would have fallen short to accommodate them all. Ranga came outside the house and outside the house and with a smile on his face. Everyone was so amazed to see Ranga had not changed a bit after he left 6 months ago. An old lady went even to the extent of running her hands through his chest to check for a sacred thread. However, he went away after confirming that she went away after confirming that he had not forgotten about his caste. So we have seen till here that this is a story about, the story revolves about the Ranga, the accountant's son, who got the opportunity to go out of the village to study. The narrator takes you through the journey where he changes Ranga's perceptions about marriage, how he staged their union with the help of Shastri, and what role English has played in their village. The entire story involves funny instances and References for the narrator has made sure your mind and stays occupied with the story. Here, it all begins with when Ranga, the accountant's son, comes back to his village Hosahali after 6 months. He had gone to Bangalore to pursue his studies, which to mention not many in the village get this opportunity. The whole village gets excited to see to see Ranga, and thus they gather around his home only to see how he would have changed. The narrator has beautifully elaborated about their village Hosahali and how every authority responsible forgot to mention it in the maps. Moving on, he admires Ranga and wants him to get married. But to his dismay, Ranga has different views about marriage at that point of time. So we will go see what happened the next part of this paragraph. So until next class, keep watching, keep practicing. Goodbye from me.